When getting married is déjà vu,
I thought, to the best of my knowledge, I was divorced.
your venue looks ew.
This is the reception itself.
No.
And the groomsmen leave you wondering what to do.
Oh, the party was what I came for.
Who you gonna call? Superstar wedding planner, Jane Deas Hinch.
I never had such a sinking feeling in all my life.
Bit like the one I've got now.
Oh, my divorce!
But will ghosts of a wedding past haunt the present?
If I don't get that piece of paper, I can't get married.
We both love cats.
This one is my engagement present.
Are you doing a lot of work on your wedding right now, too?
A feline-loving female sought out a kooky for cougars man.
Found Amanda on our website, right? We're not gonna say which one, but
Ah, so it's that kind of romance. But something clicked because they moved in faster than you can say sexy singles.
It was like 2 weeks later. He asked me to move in with him, and then I moved in the following Friday.
impulse. So we did everything as according to what started us off, and so far, right?
And so far, how are the old wedding plans going? Mom?
How would I describe this wedding?
I have no idea what we're gonna do.
I would say hasty,
So it's 9 days? Oh, wow.
disorganized.
I haven't even seen the place where we're having the ceremony.
I just hope nobody falls apart.
Surely they have some things under control.
Oh, I've got my earrings too.
Dodged a bullet there. But is there anything else, Amanda?
My feelings on the best man are, I don't want my day to go badly.
Meet the boys, a bride's worst nightmare.
Oh, the party was what I came for.
My best man got into a bit of a tiff at a poker game that we were at.
There's one guy who can mess it all up. If it can happen, he's the guy.
It's now an issue because it bothers her that he had such an outburst, and an uncontrollable outburst at that she doesn't want him to be at the wedding as my best man.
I don't want anything causing a stir in the wedding, and I don't want to be embarrassed.
It's gonna be a tough situation to deal with.
So Sean's got some work cut out for him. How about Amanda? What do you have on your list?
All I care about is looking pretty.
I could marry her in a dark alley for all I... But, no, that's not what I mean, though. You know what I mean?
Aw, they're so cute at that age. Not.
He tells me, Mom, I've never done a wedding before.
He doesn't know what it entails.
Well, you're not supposed to have done a wedding before.
Well, sure, you're not supposed to have done a wedding before, but marriage happens.
I thought, to the best of my knowledge, I was divorced.
Wait, I'm no lawyer, but don't you need some kind of official, piece of paper?
4 days before the wedding, we have to go down to Napanee. I need to pick up my divorce certificate.
Considering how we like to think of ourselves as pretty normal people, things are pretty bad.
If we don't get that divorce certificate, we won't be able to get married on our wedding day. If I didn't have so many other things on my mind right now, I would cry.
I mean, 9 days before the wedding, she's got to worry about the divorce papers, the food, our parents meeting for the very first time.
It is bad. Without Jane, I'm not going to be a happy bride.
Well, wedding dreamweaver Jane Deas Hinch and her assistant Michael have heard the call of the bride and are here to grant them 3 wishes to slap some sensible magic into this wedding.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Sean and Amanda.
Exactly.
I got your wedding SOS. Why are we here?
This is the reception itself.
No.
It's a community centre. It's for bingo and bridge and bake sales, but not for a wedding.
How many people?
About 100.
Right.
Now, the main thing is that day, you can only get in here to decorate for 1 o'clock.
Why?
There's a function first thing in the morning here.
What's the function?
I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, let's just say it's a kid's party and it's just going to be trashed.
Thing is, I don't really have that many people who will actually be able to be here to help.
Won't the caterer do that?
We're not having a caterer.
Who's doing the catering then?
That's what my mother needs to have sorted out because she is going to sample the food. She is going on Sunday to try a new restaurant.
That's a takeaway. That could be a huge problem.
Yeah, very huge problem. I really don't want to see my mother serving food at my wedding, but...
No. It's just not really the picture of a wedding, is it?
And that picture keeps getting prettier.
Our friends and family are not that picky, and they'll appreciate the fact that we're keeping as level-headed as possible.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
Especially with paper plates. I mean, there's no need to have plates and china here.
I'm going to be served hot curry and spicy food on paper plates.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
Suddenly they're wearing it. So that
sure.
makes me very nervous. And if you've ever been to a wedding or a party and
He's never been to a wedding.
Oh, okay.
I've been married
So on top
before,
of being a man, I've
but-
never been to a wedding.
Before?
Yes, and my divorce is actually just going through on Friday.
You see that in right now, that's quick.
Oh, I just slipped that one in.
Yeah. I was not expecting at any point somebody saying, and my divorce papers don't come through till 2 days before. No, I wasn't expecting that one.
My mom went to find out at the courthouse where my divorce certificate was. She said, sorry, but your papers were never filed. I never had such a sinking feeling in all my life.
Bit like the one I've got now. Okay.
There is no wedding. As we stand at this moment, for 5 different reasons, there is no wedding at the moment.
So you've done all this before?
Not really, because I was there.
Add one more thing.
You want to add what? You add as much
I
as
just
you
feel
can.
that I have to.
Yeah,
My
they're-
parents have never met. That might
Yeah, our
be-
parents
Parents have never met?
No.
Can't wait to get my teeth into this one.
Let's get going.
So many tasks, I can't even believe to tell you.
How many days are in their week? And how many problems can you do in a week?
So Jane gets to work on a plan of action to right this couple's mountain of wrongs.
These boards are quite big. I've had to write very small.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't even have a wall big enough for that.
This is your plan.
Can we frame that?
It is framed.
Oh,
Anything underlined in red is critical. The ceremony and the service, you've never been there, you don't know what happens there. If you want to have something make you nervous, it'll be that. Unless we get divorce papers through on Tuesday, we won't get the marriage license on Wednesday. Who's going to be checking up on that?
We're both going.
We're both going. Oh, how fabulous.
I don't like being in charge. I like somebody else doing it for me.
I've never had to plan a wedding that is in such a mess in such a short space of time. Ooh. Catering. I put it as a heading, and it's giving me a headache.
I can't really see how, with the budget that we have, that we can actually get those things done without involving family members.
This, to me, is going to make or break your wedding. And, of course, we said the decorations for here to make it look like a wedding, not an empty community hall with some tables put in.
You think you've got something nailed down, and really, you don't, and it hurts. But, I mean, what can we do?
This is your plan, but I'm your fairy godmother, and I can give you 3 wishes.
Sweet.
I don't think I've ever known a wedding that has ever needed 3 wishes more than this one. If they don't use those 3 wishes wisely, there is no wedding.
Amanda and Sean are getting married in 6 days, and they're getting smoked by all that needs doing.
Anything underlined in red is critical.
Wedding fairy godmother Jane Deas-Hinch has granted them 3 wishes to jumpstart this jalopy wedding.
Things are pretty bad.
But today, on Jane's directive, our couple is determined to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear.
I called them earlier. I said, can we look at the hall tonight? Can we have tables set up? Oh, yeah, sure, it won't be a problem.
But the sow isn't cooperating very well at all.
Okay, so apparently she doesn't know who I spoke to or why that they would say such a thing, because there was a function that they had booked already, so.
So the next obvious step for the couple, go home and play with the cats.
They seem to have the assurance that because I'm here, everything is going to be fine. Not necessarily so, unless they do everything they've got to do.
So with only 5 days before the wedding, Amanda tackles something high up on her to-do list, find the money box.
Oh, look at his little Siamese.
thinking the treasure chest look is kind of hot. At my last wedding, I didn't spend any time with my ex. I spent all my time dancing with the kids. This one looks kind of like a really old book. So I think we're gonna go with either Moby Dick or War and Peace. Since it's a wedding, I think maybe Moby Dick. And then we can always put it in our library after.
Perfect! A pretend book for a pretend library. But speaking of Moby Dicks, Sean is having a whale of a time trying to tame the groomsmen.
We got 4 days to resolve that issue, and I plan on doing it in the next 4 days. What we gotta do is we gotta Xbox.
So that's going well. But later that day, Amanda gets Sean off the couch and back to the venue for another attempt at transforming a pumpkin community center into a fairy tale wedding venue.
Or can those tables be moved a little bit just to...
And even though the layout is kind of making sense,
It's not quite the scale, but don't forget about back-to-back chairs.
something else is becoming painfully clear. They need Jane.
Decorating is the main thing that I am concerned about.
Well, we're trying to set this up as best as possible, or at least I'm trying to do to scale. My problem is that we don't have a way of setting this up in time for us to be ready. So basically, please make this room look as magical as possible.
Magical. I can't hang anything.
You cannot hang anything.
You can't put anything on the walls.
You cannot.
I know it's a tall order for Jane, but if anybody can pull it off, it's her.
Do I have a real fairy wand?
A real fairy wand.
I think I might be needing one.
Whether she needs a wand or a gin and tonic, Jane mulls it over back at HQ while her assistant Michael does some fairy dusting.
I can't put anything on the walls. I can't hang anything from the ceiling.
Bubbles?
Can't have any naked flames. I do not know how I am gonna... Michael, what are you doing?
I'm just dusting the light.
Light.
So while Jane and Michael work on lighting up the couple's lives, Sean's mother is testing out the food and the disposable china for the reception.
Chicken's all white meat.
Let me check in the kitchen.
Ideally, white meat is
Let me check
buttered.
first, all right?
Okay. I do have a couple of other alternatives. However, they are very far away. I'll try this dark meat. Oh, it's not bad. This is one of the plates that they are using at the wedding. And today, I'm gonna try and see how the food actually holds up. I think that'd be okay.
Yeah, and later on,
It's pretty sturdy. They would have delivery, but they wouldn't have somebody to serve it. I wish they had spoken to me. I know so many Indian restaurants where I could have had the whole thing done with proper seating and serving, and everybody would have been in a nice, classy atmosphere with the right ambience and all that.
Well, at least everyone will be able to see what they're eating because now Jane has help with wish number 1.
This is the delightful community centre.
Right, well.
Which I've got to make magical. Now, you cannot hang anything from the ceiling. You can't do anything on the walls. So I am left with this, how do I make it magical? And I thought of you.
Thanks. Jeez, you're all hard.
Jane has the man, and now they're working on a plan.
Highly illuminated with 2 exit signs. Opie's got a magic wand, one with high wattage.
It's only 4 days before their wedding, and the most critical issue is still left untouched. So today, Sean and Amanda are scheduled to make the 4-hour road trip to pick up the divorce papers. That is, if they can separate themselves from the bed. Sean and Amanda are getting married in 4 days, and their wedding is a big ol' mess.
I'm just worried that it's not going to happen.
And if anyone can make it happen, it's Jane Deas-Hinch.
We're going to need a miracle for this one.
But before Amanda and Sean can actually tie the knot, the bride that was needs to untie her first one.
I need to pick up my divorce certificate.
If I don't get that piece of paper, I can't get married. So yeah, it's definitely a crisis.
But on pickup day,
The pair of them have slept in. They've had to race to go and get these divorce papers. Can't wait to see how this one works out.
and so Jane heads off to meet the hopefully newly divorced bride and her husband-to-be. Wait, is that right?
We've come to get a very official piece of paper.
What if I told you this wasn't the right piece of paper? is the right one.
Ooh, a kidder. At least someone's enjoying herself.
So now we're going to move to the council chambers where we're actually going to do the ceremony, and then I'll go over the pre-meeting with you then.
Okay, perfect. So this is it.
Wow.
It's quite impressive.
Sure, especially for a meeting over city bylaws and parking infractions.
I'll introduce you as the new Mr. and Mrs. And to celebrate that occasion, you can ring our ship's bell.
It's all right.
And then you can move out there to the gardens and what have you.
I think it was good to be here today so that they could see it and make it real.
But a real problem is that this wedding factory is pumping them out like so much sausage.
The only things that I can see now that we need to resolve with this is having a wedding beforehand and a wedding after, and you being in the middle. And if the weather isn't right, you're going to have all their guests in here, and we're trying to come through as well.
I'm not going to be able to say, you be here, you be there. It's kind of going to chance.
But Jane doesn't believe in this wacky concept known as chance.
Do you think we could have you be our stage manager?
To be here with a couple that don't know what's going on and their guests don't know what's going on, great. Let me be in charge. There is no rehearsal. So to me, to be here and organise all of that, I would really like to do that for you.
Kind of round up all the cattle and make sure they get herded to the right place.
I wouldn't quite put it like that.
Well, no, but...
So Jane has her second wish. Meanwhile, Michael is working on the first wish and is drawn to the lights of Chinatown. And of course, our boy can't resist a good hat when he sees it.
Wow. We need 6 of those. I'm all set. I'm ready to go.
Meanwhile, with only 3 days to the wedding, Sean's mother is cooking till the cows come home to try to beef up the Indian takeaway for the reception and reduce costs for Sean and Amanda.
My biggest wish is that I don't have to serve this food on Friday. Hi, Sean. Yeah, hi.
What's wrong?
We don't have anybody to serve it. They cannot supply me anybody to serve.
Okay, well...
It's not every day my son gets married. So, you know what? I'm not gonna do it.
Bye.
Sean's mom has spoken, and so no mom plus no money equals hello, Jane.
Where are we at with the catering and the menu? How did Mum get on?
She says everything is booked, everything is set, and it will be delivered.
Now, this is the only thing we'd like to have a bit of your help with.
Can you please, as was it our second or our third wish? How many wishes we have now?
Meow.
This is definitely number 3.
Meow, meow.
So for our third wish,
Meow.
we would like to see if you would be able to help alleviate the burden from our moms with the catering. Having someone outside of the family
3 good wishes.
to make these things happen for us is a huge blessing.
Tomorrow is Wednesday, the wedding is on Friday, so I've got 2 days. I don't know, am I going to bed in between? We need to work out how the 2 mums aren't working on the wedding day.
So you need a whole bunch of minions like me.
Lots of minions. Catering minions, catering students, George Brown College.
Let's go.
Let's go, George Brown College.
All right.
So before you can say blue plate special, Jane seeks out silver servers in training.
I cannot have the 2 mums working on a wedding day. Although we're dealing with paper plates and plastic cutlery, we're actually going to be doing silver service. We are professionals. We are going to give a professional service. Want to come and do a wedding? Get some experience?
When planning their wedding, Sean and Amanda were up against the wall.
We're going to need a miracle for this one.
But Jane Days Hinge, wedding planner with the mostest, has granted them 3 wishes to free them from wedding limbo. Wish 3 had Jane giving a class on class.
Although we're dealing with paper plates and plastic cutlery, we're actually going to be doing silver service.
And for wish 2, Jane will keep the pace at the ceremony.
We've got 15 minutes when you're done. Come in. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
And today, it's wedding day, and Jane and Michael are making sure wish 1 to decorate the hall is being brought to light.
How we doing?
On schedule, I think. We
On
should be done
schedule?
soon.
Good.
So after the twinkling gets tweaked,
I picked these out all by myself. Jane, if you're looking for me, I'm behind the curtain.
the fairy lights get ferried. But the fairy princess is feeling flighty.
I'm anxious and jittery.
But will the boys fly off the handle?
Make him looking good, this guy.
All right.
He's getting married.
You guys are still trying to talk me out of it, eh?
And Michael's not the only one feeling jittery.
Well, I'm a little nervous about the whole deal. Sean's first marriage, and he's a young fella. Just hope everything works out for him.
So now we have to go to my place, and we have to get that tray and that table settings. Or else we're both dead people.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Let's go. I got a hot date, people. Let's go. Here's all the platters.
Okay, vegetables raised.
Okay. Yep.
Perfect. All right, I'm out.
Okay.
I'll see you guys there. Be
Yep,
on time.
Yep, sure will.
Swear to be on time.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the bride's in a tizzy over some tulle.
The crinoline that I have is not working with my dress. So if I get another crinoline, it may still not work with my shoes.
So Amanda's sister races to fix the crinoline catastrophe, while Jane civilly engineers the ceremony.
Who can help you do that? Who would know them?
And Jane runs such a tight ship that even the bad boy groomsmen are in check.
Oh, you just have a cigarette?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got 15 minutes when you're done. This is where it all starts. And it's 3 minutes to.
Yeah. Where is everybody?
Well, here's the bride. That's a start.
There we are. You look stunning.
Sean and Amanda have come here today to be joined in marriage.
I promise to love you, comfort, and encourage you.
Today, I, Helen Jean Amanda Rowe, choose you, Sean Richard Lavery, to commit myself to you for the rest of my life.
You may have your first married kiss.
If it wasn't for Jane, this wedding would not have been going together the way it is going so far. Everything is so perfect, and I'm so grateful.
But the next wedding is on deck, so away we get. And a woman named Jane's work is never done. It's 2 wishes down, 1 to go.
Here we are, 5 minutes to go. This next hour is going to go like that. At 7 o'clock, I'm going to do the announcements, I'm going to bring bride and bridegroom through, and I'm going to do some filling. I'm going to make it up as I go along, but it'll sound very professional.
Bride and groom have just arrived.
You'll have to stall them for a minute. Harold, go with the bride and bridegroom.
On your mark, get set, go!
If this place wasn't done by Jane, then there's no way that we would have been able to do anything for what we had to do through our days.
I thought it was gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Everything is definitely wedding-ish.
Wedding-ish?
I enlisted the help of my little minions who have worked so hard. They made this party into a wedding, a celebration of first class.
That, I think, was the one thing that impressed me the most, was the amazing amount of people serving the food. I was flabbergasted when I saw all those people standing behind the counter, ready to go, and on top of everything, I appreciate everything that everyone has put into this.
Everything's been done is just amazing.
If, ands, buts, regrets, that's not what weddings are for. Tomorrow they're going to wake up and go, didn't we have the most fabulous wedding?
Go, Jane. Go, Jane. Woo, woo. Woo.
It's very Jane. Jane. I'm Jane. I'm Jane. Jane, this is for you. See, I'm very thoughtful. I think about Jane while I'm shopping for her, and she'll be very proud of me.